Hello and welcome to Reality TV Cringe. I am one of your hosts, the matriarch, Delia, and I'm here with my real tight homegirl and my daughter-in-law, the beautiful, the jubilescent,
wow,
the pearlescent,
wow,
the resplendent,
fancy words.
Beatrice.
Hi.
We are here to get all the way down into some welcome to Plathville.
This week was wild.
These last 4 episodes have been wild, and we have so many things to say. Now, before we get into it, though, we do have to warn you to please hide your wife and hide your kids. This is a politically incorrect podcast. We say a lot of stupid things.
Objectively.
We say bad words.
Yep.
We have our own opinions, and we feel like as sovereign citizens of the planet, we're entitled to them.
Yeah.
We're not going to apologize.
These are our opinions.
So if you're sensitive,
Go away, please. Nobody wants you here.
you might want to find yourself another dumpster.
Smell you later.
But if you're willing to go with us to Lydia Plath's engagement,
oh my God.
welcome to this dumpster.
And if you like what we do over here, please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Reality TV Cringe and join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Reality TV Cringe. We have so much bonus stuff up on there, ad-free, after shows sometimes with exclusive content. It's great over there.
Speaking of after shows, we're going to be having an after show tonight because there's a lot of social media activity around one Veronica, not Plath.
Yeah.
She's self-combusting.
Yeah.
She's showing us who she really is,
She's
but
showing
we
her
have
ass.
been knowing who Veronica is. We've been calling it out, but like she doesn't like that. And so we're going to talk about it in the after show. But if you want to watch or be part of the after show, you got to be a patron. So make sure to do that. Now, last but not least, if you are watching on YouTube, please, we're asking from the bottom of our cold, dark raccoon hearts, please like and comment and share and subscribe and interact with our content in whatever way that you can, because truly anything you do helps us to scale Mount 6,000 subscribers. And it's all I want in this world.
That's all I want.
And I just feel like maybe you could co-manifest with us as we both envision a world where we have 6,000 subscribers.
That would be great.
6,000 subscribers.
So great.
So if you could do all that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Now, before we get into it, I do have to ask you, my sweet baby, what is your main takeaway from this latest episode of Welcome to Ain't Shit Plathville?
Dude, Ethan, this episode
Wow.
is absolutely insane. Like, so fucking rude, so beyond socially inappropriate. I'm like wondering if he's drinking in that coffee cup that he keeps holding.
Why are you wondering?
I mean, it's gotta be beer
it's
or
a
something.
fact, Jack.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? You're making such an ass out of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't like it.
No, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's homophobic.
Yeah,
It's awful.
definitely.
And I'm just wondering what's going on in that pea-sized brain of yours, Ethan, that would give you the impression that it would be okay to do and say the things that you have done
It's wild.
in this season. My takeaway is I just want to send up the flare again. It's going up. Can everybody see it? Something's wrong with Mariah Plath.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
dude.
obviously, there's been something wrong a little bit with Mariah
Yeah.
Plath, and she's got her own issues, but like I feel that all of that has been amplified over the last year. I don't know if it's because of her weird relationship with that married guy with a kid. I don't know if it's because of the alopecia and everything, which is, I can't even imagine. It's got to be terribly, terribly hard. But we see her drinking in this episode, which I don't know if we've ever, I know she's been in a bar.
Yeah, I think she had drank a little bit last season, but we didn't see much of it. But this time it's like you're drinking a whole big old glass of wine.
And she's asking for more wine.
Mhm.
We also see her with kind of a busted wig. Like her wig is looking weird. Is it her hair?
I don't know if that's her wig yet. I think she still has her
Okay.
hair because she still has her
'Cause-
eyelashes on one eye.
Okay.
So I don't think she's lost her hair yet.
Okay, and I don't want to really even talk about that, but like whatever she's doing with her hair, like she's not necessarily taking care of it or herself.
Mm-mm.
She seems really thin. I don't want to comment on her body because I don't know if there's anything else going, but there's just like all of these things together, plus her very morose affect,
I know.
the way she speaks, the way she's so timid, the way she's got a little girl voice.
I know.
Is very concerning to a mommy like me. Like, I'm like, what's going on with you? It's giving trauma response. It's giving somebody has abused you. And I don't know that it's potato head. I'm wondering how far back we go into your childhood to get to that abuse. I'm just concerned for her. And she doesn't want to be around these people. And I don't blame her.
Yeah.
I literally don't blame her. But, and I'm just going to say this and call me out if you want to. I get it. But we don't censor here. But like, I just wondered if there was something a little bit more than alcohol happening with her.
Yeah.
Just a little bit around the edges. There was some slurring. There was a certain way of speaking and moving. I'm just like, honey, is there something else going on with you besides the depression? Are you self-medicating? What's happening? Somebody help Mariah Plath. And she talks in this episode about moving to Montana.
I know. Where did that come from?
Which then I went to her Instagram and she does indeed have pictures of herself in what looks to be Montana, I assume. So I feel like she's maybe relocated to this strange, beautiful place, but by herself?
She's running away. She's running away from her problems. I think she's running away from herself.
From her family,
From
her
her
whack-ass family.
Well, it's like, it's weird because she moved in with her family. I think she's just dealing with a lot. I think Mr. Potato Head fucked her up bad because her brothers keep mentioning it.
I guess,
Micah and Ethan keep mentioning how she's messed up.
Like, there is lacking a foundation inside of her that she would be so wrecked after 6 months with a married guy. Like, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, a lot of us have had terrible relationships, but like, are we really this broken just because of that? I feel like there's more going on. And then when you compound that with substances, and I'm just going to say, I think there's substances, mainly alcohol, but like substances flowing through the Plath clan.
Yeah.
I think they're all them kids, well, not the little minors, but like I think Ethan and Micah and Mariah, not Lydia, but I think all of them are drinking, if not more. Isaac even as well, as we learn from the weddings. It's just very concerning all the way around. I'll shut up now, but I just want everybody I know not everybody likes Mariah. I get it, but like, this is a young woman who has a whole host of problems, who comes out of a really troubled family structure, and I just worry about this girl. I really do. I worry about her.
I've always liked Mariah. I've always rooted for her. I'm definitely worried for her. I would not be surprised if she's like doing drugs or something, because I mean, the way she's acting, it's troubling. I'm worried for her.
Why is she taking all the blame with regard to Veronica, who's truly a trash bag of a person? Okay, never mind. Let's get into the episode. We'll talk about it when we get to it. Without further ado, start us off, Beatrice. We are on Welcome to Plathville, Season 7, Episode 4, entitled
The Proposal.
Okay.
This whole episode is about Lydia's proposal and leading up to it. We start off with Lydia and Barry at the Plath family home because Barry has concocted a little storyline. He's going to pretend like he's taking Lydia out for dinner, like just a daddy-daughter date type of a thing. Lydia's completely oblivious because she's so naive and trusting.
There's a lot of people wearing burgundy and black. I just felt like, well, maybe people knew.
This could have been like the producer version of the proposal, but I don't know.
Okay.
They're pretending like Lydia is, completely oblivious to the real plan. She's getting ready to go to dinner with her dad. And Lydia thinks that Zach currently is in Colorado for like some going away party for one of his friends or something. And this is where Lydia kind of talks about like, it's good to spend time with my dad because I'm not going to have much time left after I get married, because she's planning to move to Colorado and uproot her life and go live with Zach up there once they get hitched. So they're getting ready for dinner. And then we head over to the cabin, that booty-ass vacation rental cabin in some weird haunted forest in Cairo.
I would love to own it. Sorry.
I don't know. That freaking cabin, though.
Well, but Barry and
Booty.
Kim have a lot of properties.
do,
One
they
of
do.
them is like a little beautiful woodsy cabin.
They do. Yeah.
I think it's great.
They own a lot of properties. That's great. But they're at this cabin and everybody's there. Like the whole family's there. Zach had flown in from Colorado because he's gathering everybody up, all of Lydia's family and some of her friends and everything for this surprise proposal. And this is where shit starts getting tense, like right off the bat, because Zach is meeting Micah for the first time at this proposal, which I have thoughts about that, but we'll get to it in a little while. And it's awkward because Micah's like, this is my first impression of this guy. Him and Veronica both aren't really liking him at first. They're both hardcore judging him, saying that he's not making a good first impression at all because he's kind of like bossing people around. I mean, it's his proposal day, so of course he's directing people where to go and how to stand.
He also kind of gives me anxious attachment.
Mhm.
And I think with anxious people, there is a deep-seated need to try and control the environment to make
Mhm.
sure that things are stable and they can navigate it. And so it just kind of seemed to me he was nervous, he was anxious, he was obviously out in front of everybody doing this thing. And while I can see how I guess some people might think he was controlling, I didn't really think so. I thought he just wanted everything to be perfect for his honey.
Sure. Yeah.
I did.
I mean,
Would you have taken as much offense as Ethan and Micah and Veronica did?
Absolutely the fuck not. I would have been socially appropriate. I would have been totally happy. I would have done whatever Zach wanted me to do because what should have mattered to everybody here was that it's Lydia's big day.
Yes.
But no, we have fucking Ethan. We have Ethan and Micah just immediately trying to give Zach shit. You have Micah like rolling down the hill, trying to trip Zach, and he just jumps over him like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're older than me. Let's act a little bit more mature here. You have Kim trying to justify Ethan and Micah's behavior as like, oh, they're just boys. Haha. It's just like, welcome to the Plath family, and not doing anything to try and control the situation or rein in.
Well, she
Ethan.
doesn't really have that position anymore. She forfeited the position of mother with any kind of authority.
That's the problem.
At the altar of her adultery and her alcoholism and her sugar in the barn. So she really doesn't have, any room to tell anybody else how to act. But like in that moment, nonetheless, as a mom, you should have told your boys, hey, wise up. Like, get over here, stand in line. Let's help. Let's get this together. This is for Lydia. Act right.
Yeah, and she's not doing any of that. She's just stomping around in her mini skirt.
Oh,
which
okay.
I'm just like,
sidebar,
please,
sidebar. And
please stop.
I'm gonna be careful.
Why be careful?
Because but I just don't understand.
It's
Kim.
not flattering.
What's happening?
What are we
with
doing?
These skirts. They're like athletic skirts.
I know.
They're like athleisure. Is it a skirt? I mean, what's happening? Are we
so bad, dude.
unaware of the actual shape of our body? What are we doing, Kim?
I'm like, Kim,
please put some pants on for your daughter Lydia's engagement.
I know.
I don't want to see your pussy lips. I don't want to see your pussy. Seriously. And neither is Barry.
No.
Nobody wants to see that, Kim.
I kind of wonder if she's wearing it for Barry. And I'm like, Barry ain't interested in all that.
I was wondering too when like they were speaking to the camera together about the upcoming wedding. And I was checking Barry and he was being like, very friendly. But then there was Kim. She was kind of giving an energy like, Barry, I'm wearing this short skirt. I mean, do you remember when?
He's like, no.
Way back in the day, we were in the gazebo and you were French kissing me and it was so passionate. And Barry's like, absolutely not.
Nope, we're done.
I don't really see you
the
in
second
this moment.
That you went and left me and fucked Ken motherfucking Palmer. I mean, Barry is so done. And I honestly love it so much.
Me too.
I'm not trying to like praise on Barry because he's got his fucking problems. And I'm kind of pissed off at him, honestly, for this whole like giving Lydia away thing. I'm like, you're not being a good dad, but like whatever. But like the fact that Barry got jacked as fuck, grew a beard, and Kim
went the other way. Went the other way.
That's what we'll say. Went the other way. And she's walking around in these mini skirts. Then if you like just bent over a little bit, we'd see your whole chocha.
She really doesn't need to bend over.
I know. It's
She just needs to lean a little bit against a tree. And I'm seeing her uterus. Stop it, Kim.
I literally
year
can't,
after year, like you've been doing this for a few seasons now, but like it's worse than
working.
ever.
Yeah.
No.
I wonder if she's like also like trying to live vicariously through like some of the younger daughters, because all of her daughters
stunning
are so
stunning.
They are gorgeous.
The absolute most beatific young ladies.
Like
gorgeous.
Legs for days. They can pull off mini skirts.
Booties and everything just popping out.
I know. I'm like, the fuck, Kim? You are not there anymore.
Well, I mean, it was a bit of a midlife spectacle.
Yeah.
That none of us needed to see.
No. Not at all. But anyway, so Zach is trying to direct everybody to get into their places. He's trying to explain the whole proposal and like what he wants to plan out, what he wants to implement. And nobody seems to give a fuck. Nobody seems to listen. I kind of felt bad for him there because I'm just like, you guys, like, this is for your sister, though.
It's one day. It's
you know what
literally
I mean?
1/2 of an hour out of a day.
Like,
where you can help and you can create this moment that he wants to have with your sister, who's totally in love with this young man for whatever reason.
For some reason. And it's like, you can not like the guy, and that's fine, because I'm going to be honest, I don't really like Zach myself, but we'll get into it later. But you can set that shit aside for this like 1 hour thing that you just need to literally stand there for. Like, you don't have to do anything. Like, he's just telling you what he wants to do, and nobody's taking it, especially Ethan, who gets visibly mad at the fact that Zach is trying to coordinate everything. He calls him bossy. He calls him pushy. We've talked about how Ethan is the immovable Taurus last week. He doesn't like to be told what to do. But I'm like, Ethan, you need to grow the fuck up, dude.
Yes, but I mean, also Veronica. Like,
Yes.
Veronica is right there instigating the bullying of Zach. And we'll talk about this in the after show, but it's like really rich because she has spent literally weeks, if not months, on this campaign to paint Ethan and Micah out to be these homophobic a-holes who bullied Zach. And now we get to the actual episodes, and I'm loving the producers for this.
Oh, I know.
I am loving the producers but we get to the episode and it's actually Veronica who's out here doing majority of the instigation to bully Zach.
It's crazy.
She's an awful person, and I know we're not on that part, and I know we're still talking about Ethan, also an awful person, like so disappointed in you as a person. I thought you were like, and I said this last week, I won't belabor this, I thought you were a Christian. Like, I thought that was a value that you held, and maybe you're not as much of a Christian as you were before in terms of practicing, but like, I thought the values were something that you held dear. I thought that's why you wouldn't want to stay with Olivia, because she didn't hold the same values and that was important to you. But like, now here we are in 2025 and this is how you treat people. I don't mind Zach. He's different. I've seen a lot of people in my many years on this planet. He seems like a kind young man who's doing the very best that he can, keeping in mind he's 23 years old. Lydia's 20. Zach is 23. Are they too young? Absolutely. Is it going to work? Probably not.
Yeah.
But he's a good boy and he deserves the benefit of the doubt. He's done nothing to Ethan. He's done nothing to Micah or anybody else that would call for them to treat him this way. Now, if you show me who you are and you're an a-hole to my sister, that's different.
Sure.
Then I'm going to come out the gate. We're going to have a problem. But like, you're treating my sister well. My sister seems to love you. I'm not going to come at you like this.
Well, and like, here's the thing is like, I can understand why the brothers would be cautious of him and would be skeptical of him because they don't fucking know him. This is Micah's first time meeting this guy, and you're going to propose to my sister. I don't know dick all about you. I don't know your character. You haven't like asked me anything about myself. Like,
but doesn't it bother you when you look at Micah's character? This man is a cheater. This man is somebody who gave Veronica an STD. This is a person who is a liar. So why are you sitting there in judgment of this young Christian man who just went and hiked with your sister and they went up 5 mountains and they're deeply in love? Like, who are you to sit in judgment? Plus you, Ethan, with your fly fucking open.
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody is in place to judge anybody. We're two raccoons on a podcast judging these people too.
That's true.
When we've got our own bullshit on our own side. I'm not justifying Micah's behavior. I'm not justifying his actions. I'm not justifying Ethan's. I think both of them and Veronica are fucking out of pocket. The way that they are acting is so unbelievably immature, and you guys are supposed to be the eldest siblings. You're supposed to be the ones that are offering like advice, and you're trying to be protective of Lydia, but you're calling him an asshole. You're calling him an idiot. Ethan mutters fuck off under his breath. Like, that is inexcusable. It's so ridiculous. What I'm saying is, I think it's a little audacious for Zach to come into this family that is patriarchal, that is Southern Baptist Christian, small town country bumpkin, uneducated because Kim Plath homeschooled them and didn't do a good job. Like, he's coming into this family expecting them to accept him just because Lydia's happy. He hasn't got to know anybody.
Why do you say disagree? Why do you think that he's expecting them to accept him? It seems to me that he's hoping that they will. He's showing up at dinner. He's being respectful. He's not causing any conflicts. Why do you think he's coming in here with an entitled attitude that everyone's going to accept him? I don't see that at all.
I don't think he's entitled. I just think he expects them to just be fine with it. And they're not, because they don't know him.
Well, maybe he has like a human expectation that he won't be treated like shit by people who don't know who he is.
Yes.
Irrespective of the fact that he loves Lydia and treats her well. Like, maybe he has that expectation, but like, shouldn't he? It's not his fault that they didn't do that.
Well, no, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying, like, Ethan and Micah should not be laughing at him and bullying him and treating him like absolute shit.
In what way did he conduct himself as if he were expecting something that he shouldn't have?
Well, I'm not saying that he's acting entitled. I'm just saying that you can't expect anybody to like be warm to you if you've only known Lydia for 3 months, and like the first time you meet Ethan, for example, is when you say, yeah, I'm going to propose to your sister and we're going to get married in like 2 months.
Yeah, but there's something very guileless about that and innocent to me. This is just something that somebody who doesn't have life experience wouldn't know.
It could be.
But it doesn't mean that he should have expected them to be as aggressive and antagonistic as they were.
I'm not saying that.
Well, but he expected a modicum of human decency.
Sure,
and they did not give that to him.
No, they
and
didn't
he deserved it.
Yes.
He deserved it. He may be weird. He may be quirky.
Yes.
He may be strange, but he deserves a modicum of human decency. And those people did not give that to him.
No, for sure. And like, Ethan should be mature enough at this point, because he's like 26. He should be mature enough to articulate his feelings in a better way instead of bullying him and calling him names and being fucking mean. Same thing with Micah. They should be able to articulate like, hey, we're her older brothers. We're protective of Lydia. We saw how Mariah got fundamentally changed and broken because of some rando men that she went and ran off with. We're worried about Lydia because she's way more impressionable and way more innocent and way more naive, and she's pure, and we don't know you. You come out here from Colorado and you meet us one time and then you say you're going to propose to her. Like, that's what I'm saying. I can understand like the underlying like skepticism. But yes, Ethan and Micah should 100% have been way more respectful and way more understanding.
I just want to say I don't think Zach has done anything wrong that I've seen. I think that he's been a pleasant young man. He's different. He's excited. He is, obviously he's got hearts in his eyes, but he's done absolutely nothing to warrant even 1% of what he is getting. And I feel really so terribly bad for him. And I was actually watching this and I'm like, are they doing this for the cameras? Are they trying to play it up to like have this storyline that they're going to haze this Zach guy? But my vibe was like, no, I think Ethan's actually legitimately pissed off because we've got Zach trying to coordinate this engagement and this proposal with the rose petals and down by the riverbed or whatever. And then you have Ethan like setting fire to the grass. And I thought it took some big balls of Zach to walk up to Ethan and say like, can you put the fire out? Can you actually, I would prefer that you do that. And of course, Ethan's like, well, then you do it. And so then Zach did that. But like, I was like, at that point, I'm like, Ethan, I think you mean this. And this just further demonstrates what an emotional, immature, cripple you are.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot fucking read a room. You don't know how to act decent. And on the one hand, I don't necessarily blame you because of the way that you were brought up by these two broken robot asshole culty people. But on the other hand, as Beatrice, you've said, you're 26 years old. You've been out in life. You've got on your Harley and you've driven around the nation. Like, you should know better than to treat people like this. And so you get no pass from me, you asshole. And
100%.
Micah, you're no better just because you've got a sweeter disposition.
Mm-hmm.
But you rolling down the hill and on purpose trying to knock Zach over in a suit, I'm like, oh God, you fucking suck.
Yeah, and that's why I was like mad at Kim and mad at Barry, because I'm just like, what are you doing? You raised these men to act like fucking children. I mean, they are grown-ass men at this point in time, and they are acting like this. The fire thing was so ridiculous. The way that Ethan was like not looking at him, he was red in the face. He was pissed off because Zach is asking him kindly, hey, yeah, I don't really want the brush right here where I'm gonna propose and like we're gonna have photos taken to be burnt and fucking scorched. So can you like stop? And Ethan's like, no, I want to start a fire. And then Tegan tries to justify it and is like, well, I don't think he meant anything wrong by it. He was just trying to blow off steam. And I'm like, girl, I know that you're in love, but like we can call out when our partners are doing things wrong, you know?
Sometimes it takes a bit of time to like be able to do that. But yeah, Tegan was pretty weak in that moment.
She was.
But there was Veronica on the sidelines just laughing and saying, well, anything that Zach asks us to do, let's do the very opposite of that. Let's just poke Zach, even though this is about Lydia and this is Lydia's special day. And even though you, Ethan, when Lydia was talking about all the mischief you all could get into, you're the one who said, well, but I really want this to be special for Lydia. Well, if that were true, you wouldn't have set fire to the ground upon which he was going to propose.
Right.
Just very shameful behavior. And I have to wonder, Ethan, as you watch this back, like, are you embarrassed of yourself? Are you embarrassed of the man that you're showing yourself to be? What kind of fucking man are you?
I know. I'm like,
I'm so upset.
When did you turn into such a bitter, fucking callous drunk?
I think it's because of his marriage to Olivia.
Yeah.
It's not because of Olivia.
Right.
It's because of his relationship with Olivia. And I kind of touched upon it last week where I said, well, maybe Ethan is still low-key in love with Olivia. And as much as he's protesting and he's calling her out and he's trying to drag her, like there's a part of him that is still very much in love with her and misses her. And so this is how he is acting out in reaction to that. Because, you know, I got men, honey, who were married to me when I was 18 years old, still writing me.
Still
writing me.
Still.
And I got other men still reaching out to me. Okay, I'm a hard habit to break. Beatrice, I'm a hard habit to break. Like, and after you get a divorce, and we've talked about this before, typically it takes 50% of the time that you were actually in the long-term relationship or marriage for you to begin to get over it.
Right.
So, Ethan, if you were married for 8 years or in a long-term relationship for 8, it's going to take you 4 full years before you should even try to date somebody else.
And again, like, go to fucking therapy. Like, your anger is so ridiculous. Like, the fact that you can't articulate it and you can't funnel it into a mature, like, conversation. Because again, you could sit there and have a mature conversation with Zach and be like, look, like, I'm glad that you make my sister happy, but I don't trust you. I'm a little trepidatious. It's going to take me time to warm up to you because I only met you like yesterday. And I just would appreciate some grace in that. And I will try to be kind to you. But you can't even do that. You're laughing at him. You're making fun of him. You're calling him names. It's ridiculous. I'm like so mad at him because from season 1, Ethan, to now, I'm like, you suck.
Who
You're
do you think
turning
you
into
are?
A piece of shit.
We remember you as a Johnny Appleseed who didn't know how to do anything, completely naive to everything, arrogant, not arrogant, but ignorant to how to live a life. And here you are picking on this person for being different.
And you're homophobic
from you.
as fuck.
That really is a testimony to Kim and Barry.
Yes.
And Kim and Barry, you can put on this facade of reasonableness and, you know, trying to co-parent. We're good people. We love God. But like, these are the kids that you have literally raised. They are assholes, or else they are addicts, or else they are depressed, or else they are broken, or else they're indoctrinated.
Yep.
Like Lydia. Like Lydia literally had to turn to a heavenly father because she didn't have a present father to take care of her and save her from Kim fucking Plath.
Well, and that's the thing with Barry is that he's just like so willing to give away his daughter. And like, look, like I'm not advocating for like traditional values, like the father needs permission to give away his daughter, anything like that. But like he's just like so happy to like let her be with this guy that he barely knows as well, and she's only known him for like 4 months. They've only spent like really a week together because they've been long distance for the majority of their time together. And Barry's like, yeah, I think it's great. I think it's awesome that she's going to get married in like 5 months and it'll be totally fine. And, you know, she's doing the exact same thing that me and Kim did. And like, you know, it didn't work out for us, but hopefully it'll be better for Lydia.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like it.
Yeah, it's a thorough abdication of your parental responsibilities, and it's not cute.
No, it's
and
not
anybody
at all.
with like even a minor ability to think and cogitate can see what's happening here, and
Yep.
it's a tragedy. And I feel bad for Lydia, and she's so sweet.
She is.
Oh my God, she's so pretty, so sweet, so perfect, so kind,
Uh-huh.
so good. I hope that Zach treats her well.
Me too.
I hope that she did move to Colorado and got away from these contaminated, poisonous people who don't have her best interest. Well, maybe they do. Maybe Ethan does have her best interest at heart, but he doesn't have the humanity
Yes.
to know how to take care of her or conduct himself.
Exactly.
And it's embarrassing. I mean, imagine Lydia watching this
oh my
episode.
God, I know.
She did not know that her brothers and Veronica and her family was doing this shit.
I know.
She thought it was perfect. It was magical, but no, they were actively trying to ruin it. Well, specifically Veronica.
Yes, I hated this whole thing. I felt embarrassed for Lydia because she's going to have to watch this back, and she is so innocent and naive and sweet and loving. And now you get to see your family make asses of themselves because they don't like your new boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was thinking, like, you know, this whole timeline is very, very fast. I mean, we as the viewers are just getting to know Zach. Like, we didn't know him last year. Like, nobody knows this dude. And I wondered if, like, so there's a couple different ways. It's like either Zach has some bad intentions and he's trying to pull her away from her family and everything that she knows and bring her to Colorado and everything. Or I wondered, maybe there's some shit going on between Lydia and the family. Maybe she confided in Zach on one of their hikes and was like, yeah, like I'm parentified. I'm so unhappy at my home. I don't know what to fucking do. And Zach's like, okay, let's speed track this and let's take you out away from your family and move you to Colorado. I wondered that. I hope that Zach has good intentions. I'm not saying that he's a bad guy. He doesn't deserve this treatment whatsoever. I'm just a little sus of him because of the timeline, because of the lack of the physical intimacy. I'm worried. I'm not like homophobic Ethan sitting there being like, are you queer? I'm not like that. I just am wondering what his intentions are with my sweet Lydia because I'm feeling protective over her too.
Well, I just have to say that as a former teenage missionary, and I apologize for that, but like I was a missionary. I was somebody who went to other nations and I spent time with other young people. I've been sold out and radical for Jesus Christ in my youth. Like I've met a million Zachs.
Mm-hmm.
I've met a million young men and women who really loved God and then met other people who also loved God and they fell in love. Like I've met people like Zach, and I just personally, I want to give people the benefit of the doubt, especially if they're showing themselves to be earnest. Maybe it's not the way I would do it. Maybe it's not necessarily what I would want to be done for me, but like Lydia seems to love it and Zach seems to be earnest. And so I'm okay with it. And I support it. And I think he's a nice boy. And I think she's a lovely girl. And that's just like where I feel like we should start and finish it with a situation. But with broken people like the Plaths, it never works out to be that way.
Exactly.
And then they attract, all of them attract other broken people who just compound and amplify the existing problem in the relationships.
Yep. And that's what I worry about. Hopefully, though, they have a great marriage. Hopefully, they're banging each other out and they are happily ever after. That's what I hope. And then we shift gears from proposal preparation to Mariah because she's the only one that's not at the proposal yet. She's at some diner or something getting drunk off of wine. And we see her. We haven't really like seen her much the last couple episodes. And she's looking troubled, dude.
I've seen better days for Mariah.
Yeah. I'm worried about her.
Clouds in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just like something around the edges of her speech and her affect that is a little bit slower, a little bit more cloudy. And, you know, it's not lost on me that like the entire family is there preparing and helping, but she's sitting at this diner. And so I think she is consciously choosing to separate herself from the rest of her family, even though she loves them. But like what she's saying throughout these scenes is very interesting to me because she's putting a lot of blame on herself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be a burden to anybody. And I definitely screwed things up. I've hurt people. I don't want to continue to hurt people. So it's better that I'm not around. That kind of languaging, that kind of stuff.
It's depression.
But it's also very worrying.
Yes.
It's very worrying that it makes me wonder, like, do you have somebody in your life, Mariah, who's telling you that you're beautiful, that you're worthwhile, that you're talented, that you're creative, that you've got a lot going for you in your life, that you're at the very beginning of your life? I just worry that she doesn't have that based on how she's presenting herself, at least in this episode.
Yeah, I felt really bad for her, and she's like really worried about going to the proposal because she doesn't want to be around Veronica and Micah because of the tension that's there between them all, and she's worried about potential conflict, and so that's why she's getting drunk at a diner before she drives over there, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's talking about moving to Montana, which I was shocked to hear because I'm just like, that's a drastic move. I mean, hopefully, like spending some time in the mountains and the forest will help reset.
Meet you a rancher and a cowboy.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Meet you a cowboy. If I could do life over again, and knowing what I know now, when I was young at her age, before I got hauled off into the corral,
Yeah,
and branded as the cow that I am to some man or the other, like if I had my druthers, I would go to a place like Montana. Right. Or to some beautiful location and just insert myself into the local economy and see what's going on.
Yeah, and like I really do hope that that's the change that she needs, but I do worry about the fact that she is doing it to run away and like run away from her problems, because that does seem to be Mariah's MO.
Yes.
I know people online are very critical of that and think that she's a shitty person for that. I'm the kind of person that relates to that because when I was going through my shit at her age, I would run away. I would disassociate. I would cut off from people and everything because I didn't want to deal with conflict because I was so tender-hearted at the time and I didn't know how to articulate my feelings and everything. So I relate to her. I'm worried about her. I'm sad for her. I hope she's okay, and I wish her nothing but the best.
Same.
And then we have Barry driving Lydia to the cabin, and this is where he concocts his little story. He had Kim text him saying that the cabin needed some towels, and so Barry's like, well, we're going to go to dinner, but we got to make a stop at the cabin first. And Lydia's like, okay. She looks gorgeous.
She's so pretty.
Oh my God, that dress.
Her eyes.
Oh, God. These Plath girls.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
And so they're driving over, and then we have people getting prepared for the proposal. Zach has everybody lined up in an aisle leading down to the little peninsula that Ethan tried to burn down, where Zach is standing there in his Sunday best, and we have everybody else wearing whatever the fuck they're wearing.
I guess, including Veronica.
Yes.
Do we want to talk about that?
Yes.
Because once everybody is lined up,
like Mariah shows up and everything,
waiting for Lydia to get there momentarily, that's when Veronica, heretofore dressed in sweats for an engagement proposal, takes off her sweats to reveal a Forever 21 glitter dress that you would go clubbing in when you were 18 or whatever. And it is tacky AF. She's wearing it with tennis shoes, which is also tacky AF.
What are we doing?
And it was absolutely ludicrous. And you had to love little Amber, little beautiful ray of light Amber, who says to the camera, like, I don't know why she did that. I think she was looking for attention, but like nobody really noticed.
She called that out. Amber has been like that since she was 14, calling out Kim Plath in the earlier seasons.
Why should dad move out when you're the one who wants the divorce? Little truth teller.
I love Amber so much. And also she's fucking gorgeous. It's ridiculous. But Amber calling Veronica out was amazing. I thought Veronica was stupid. She looked tacky as fuck.
And nobody gave her any attention.
At all.
She looked
why should they?
silly and ridiculous. And I think she felt that way because it didn't garner the reaction that she wanted, which then leads to her subsequent scene with Olivia, which we'll get to. But she just looked like a fool.
Yep.
She acted like a fool. She acted like a mean girl. Like,
Mhm.
what kind of person do you have to be to go out of your way to upstage somebody who's about to get engaged to the love of their life, where you were invited into a sacred circle of family in order to witness that? And this is your first impulse, is to upstage and be basically a twat?
And it's like she talks all of this shit
hate
online
her.
about how the Plath boys like tried to literally set Zach on fire because of some hate crime or whatever, because they think that he's gay. And then you have Veronica changing into this bedazzled Forever 21 dress. And she says, yeah, Zach told us what to wear. He told us to wear church clothes. And I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do whatever, because I don't listen to anybody, no man, no one, especially not this guy that I've just met. I'm like, so you're rude.
Oh, she's awful.
You're so disrespectful.
Something's wrong with her.
Something is
She's
wrong with her.
unhinged, dude. And she was right there when Ethan and Micah were setting that grass on fire.
Yeah.
And so all of these weeks where she was trying to say that there was a hate crime against Zach for being gay, well, then you were right there doing it. Was that
Egging
your
them
intention
on.
when it was happening? Because I didn't hear that from Ethan. I didn't hear that from Micah. And yes, they're assholes. And yes, they're potentially homophobic. But like, you were right there instigating it and doing it as well, which means you ain't shit. And you've lost credibility with just about everything. And we're going to talk about that in the after show.
Most definitely we are. And then sweet Lydia arrives and she sees Micah's truck and she's like, what's going on? And then Barry escorts her down to where everybody's lined up, and Lydia realizes, OMG, I'm getting proposed to. And everybody's lined up. She hugs every single person, just like Zach knew she would, although he kind of makes a comment about it. He's like, she hugged every single person. Zach's already kind of annoyed at this point because of all the Plaths making a ruckus and bullying him before the proposal. So I think he was just like, come on, Lydia, let me propose to you so we can kiss and get the fuck out of here. I think he was over it. But then Lydia hugs everybody. She goes down and Zach proposes, and I'm cringing a little bit, but it's sweet, I guess. And obviously she says yes. And then we have Kim and Barry saying, now we have to deal with the wedding. And if the proposal is this much work, oh my God, the wedding's going to be so much work. And this is where we learn that they're going to get married in like 2 months, which is crazy to me. I'm sending up the red flag a little bit. I'm just like, this is crazy, but like, whatever. If Lydia's happy.
Like, the whole thing is ill-advised and it's not going to work out statistically. Like, they have a very low chance of success, probably 1% to 2%. But God can do anything. God can make a way where there seems to be no way.
Yes. And then we have Lydia asking everybody for their involvement in the wedding, and she asks Amber to be her maid of honor. And I thought this interaction was a little weird because Amber's like, well, I don't know. Like,
are you sure?
I could just be a flower girl. And Lydia's like, no, you've been there for me. And Amber's like, but I haven't really. But like, okay, if you want me to be the maid of honor.
Well, what did you make of that?
I don't know. I thought it was odd that she didn't ask Mariah, because Mariah and them seemed
kind of closer,
especially when they were younger. And I don't know if there's like tension between Lydia and Mariah.
Had Mariah already left at that point, though?
I think she was still there in the background.
Really? All right.
But like Mariah, I guess because she's been doing her own thing, maybe Lydia doesn't approve of what Mariah's doing in her life. I don't know. I just thought it was odd that she didn't ask Mariah.
Agreed.
I thought it was odd that she asked Amber, and Amber seemed like it was weird and like she hasn't really been involved with Lydia. And this is why I was saying earlier, I'm wondering if there's some weird relationship dynamics going on that we don't know about. Maybe Lydia's not as close with the family as we thought. Or maybe she's trying to be close with them and they don't want anything to do with her. I don't fucking know. There's some weird stuff going on.
Well, Micah's been gone. Mariah's been gone. Ethan's been gone. It's only really been the 3 littles that have been around, and Isaac, who have been around Lydia.
Yeah.
So,
but Amber's living in Florida right now with Micah and Veronica.
Oh, God.
So that's why I'm like...
Not for long, I would imagine.
I mean, right? I would not want to live with Veronica's ass, but I don't know. I just thought that was weird. And then we have Veronica trotting around in the forest in her stupid bedazzled dress.
Looking like a fool.
A party clown. And she calls Olivia on FaceTime.
Because she feels like the family isn't treating her right in this moment because they haven't acknowledged her. Just like you didn't acknowledge Mariah when she walked up. You didn't say hi. You didn't even look at her. You didn't say anything to Barry. But she's like, well, the family's not treating me well, so I need to tromp on over through the forest to the cows so that I can call Olivia and do the most inappropriate thing possible in this moment.
So ridiculous. And she talks about how the Plaths are all cold and they're acting like they didn't treat her and Olivia like shit. They're acting like everything's fine.
No, they're literally just paying attention to Lydia
Mhm.
and making sure that Lydia is having this magical moment for herself. You are the one that's making it all about you and how everybody sees you and how everybody's treating you. Meanwhile, as Amber says, nobody's noticing you
Yep.
and or thinking about you.
Nobody gives a shit. And then Veronica says some things about how the Plaths are structured like a typical high school, but they wouldn't know because they didn't go to school. Like,
So mean.
that's how Olivia used to talk about their
Mhm.
education. And like, look, we're talking about it too. I mean,
Mhm.
Kim
It's
Plath
true.
educated them and
Mhm.
they were educated well enough. But it's like, God, so mean. And then you're trying to team up with Olivia, who I think you're right from last week. Olivia doesn't want to interact with
Oh God,
Veronica.
she's calling again?
Yeah.
Oh God, what are we going to talk about
What
now?
are we going to talk about? I think
Yeah.
Olivia is keeping her at an arm's length.
I think Olivia, for all that we can say about her, I think she's an intuitive young woman. I think she's very intelligent.
Mhm.
I think she can probably read Veronica quickly, easily, and like a book. Veronica, you are making a fool out of yourself in the world,
Yep.
on social media, and certainly in this show. And it just as a sidebar, it just had me wondering. I think somebody commented somewhere like, wouldn't it be interesting if production just kind of threw up their hands and said, okay, enough covering for Kim, enough covering for Ethan, enough covering for Olivia and Veronica. Let's just show everybody exactly who they are without trying to edit it. And in this moment, I thought it was really great.
Yep.
Production was showing exactly how insecure, immature, and downright mean Veronica is.
I love it.
I
Whatever
love it
the
too.
producers are doing this season,
Keep doing it.
keep doing. This is fucking lit. So into it.
And there are a lot of people online who are like, I cannot continue to watch this because it is so homophobic. It is so ridiculous and bullying and rude and mean. And those things are true. But at the
Sure.
same time, I am very entertained. I am very entertained and I have to see this through because
Me too.
previously, Beatrice, we wondered whether they would even show us the wedding. Like, and everything that happened at the
I
wedding.
can't
And
wait for
again, we
that.
know that Micah and Isaac get in a huge drunken brawl.
Oh my God.
And Micah's nose is almost dislodged from his face. And we've seen pictures of him all beat up. And we thought there's no way production is going to show that. But it feels like everything in this season is leading up to that point.
Yes.
I actually feel hopeful that we're going to see it. And I think that's going to be like the crystallized moment where Micah and Veronica also break up and he dumps her ass because
Yep.
that's what happened. There's a reason Veronica is showing her ass on social media right now is because she got dumped and she should be dumped because she's a terrible, toxic person.
She fucking sucks, dude. And Micah sucks too, for
Micah does
sure.
too, yes.
But like, Veronica, you are toxic AF, dude.
Mhm.
And you're still on a campaign against Micah. And it's
Mhm.
embarrassing.
And you're doing it in the most despicable way. You're
It's
calling
so
out
embarrassing.
his sexual proclivities. You're alleging that he's been sex trafficked. You are also alleging that he's had STDs. Like you're divulging this very intimate sexual,
Mhm.
physical information about Micah that is only his to reveal.
Yep.
You, in my opinion, are a disgusting person.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%. And then after the proposal, Micah and Ethan do a little meet and greet with Zach because he had set up this specific time to talk with them and get to know them. And this part was crazy because Ethan, up until this point, has been saying his only grievances with Zach was the timeline and the fact that he didn't really know him. But during this conversation with Zach, it is apparent that Ethan thinks he's gay and does not like the fact that he thinks he's gay. And it's like this, it's crazy. Micah seems to be coming at it from a perspective of a protective older brother. He wants to kind of vet Zach because he straight up says he doesn't think Barry grilled him hard enough. And so he feels like a moral responsibility as the older brother to do that. Because
But you don't have to do it in a way that's intimidating and threatening. Like if you hurt my sister, I'm going to kick your ass and it's going to be terrible for you.
Agreed.
Okay, Micah.
But we're here, okay? So we get into this little cabin. Zach comes in. He's ready to answer questions. He's already expecting that they're gonna ask hard questions because they're her brothers, and so he's it seems like he's a little nervous. It seems like he's a little timid.
Of course he is. Wouldn't you be?
Of course, because they were laughing at him just an episode ago.
They were trying to set his proposal site on fire.
Right.
He probably heard Ethan say, fuck you, and call him an idiot under his breath.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So he's coming into this, like, I think with a guard up, rightfully so, because Ethan and Micah have been downright mean to him.
The way I would not have taken that meeting, the way there would not have been any Q&A, the way I would have just given them nothing and just left with my beautiful Lydia. Who the fuck do you think you are, young men?
Yeah, I agree. I just think that things would have been different if the timeline wasn't so short and if Zach got to know them before he like proposed and before they decided to get married. I think things would have been a little bit different. He doesn't owe them
that. Yeah, that'd be great. And I think that's best case scenario, but nobody owes them that. This is between him and Lydia.
Sure.
And they have both agreed to be in this relationship and to get married. So Ethan, you're not owed anything. Micah, you're not owed any assurance, and they don't need anybody's permission.
I don't think they feel like owed anything. I think that they just expected to get to know him a little bit. So that's why they're doing this meet and greet.
I feel like they feel they're entitled to grill him.
They do. Yeah. They definitely feel that in this conversation. And Ethan seems drunk to me because he is drinking out of that coffee cup. And I'm just like,
everybody in the club's getting tipsy.
100%. So Ethan and Micah talk before I think Zach comes in, and this is where Ethan says he thinks that he's a nice guy, but Lydia wouldn't know any better otherwise, and I think that that's true. And then we have Micah also saying that he thinks that this whole thing is just a crush and that they're making it a lot bigger because they're restricting physical intimacy, which I also think is a good point. I'm not trying to judge the relationship, but like I think they're making good points right there. But then Zach comes in and they're fucking mean. Micah's like, if you hurt Lydia, there's going to be fucking consequences, my guy. And then Ethan is like, why is it so damn fast though? Like he's coming off aggressive, like in his verbiage. Like he is not trying to be mature. He's not trying to hold back his anger. He's probably drunk and he's just going in hard. Zach says something to the effect of, well, I don't know how much you know about our relationship, but like we spent a week hiking together in the mountains. And so like it felt like many months transpired in 1 week. And so we just felt like it was called by God. And that's his answer. And I'm just like, Zach, yikes, dude.
But it's valid for him. He's a religious person. It's valid for Lydia.
Sure.
And we don't need to infantilize Lydia and tell her the kind of physical intimacy she should and needs to have. Like, no, other people have different ideas for themselves and their lives and their marriage and their bodies, and that's okay. And just because it's not the same as we would do, and just because we think we know better, does not mean that we get to judge other people. I'm just so offended. And I see what you're saying. I really do. I get it. Like, yes, I wish Lydia would test out the dick before she married this guy.
Yeah.
Because watch this guy have a micro penis or a pamper penis and she has no idea and she's never had sex and she has nothing to compare it to. Yes, do I wish that. But nonetheless, I also very much respect her religious views, her faith, and her ideas about her own body and her own life. And so shut the fuck up, Ethan. And who are you to be some kind of arbiter of what is right, what a good marriage is, what a good relationship is? What would you know about that, you fool? You don't know how to be a husband. You don't know how to be a partner. You don't even know how to talk. You don't even know how to open your mouth, tomato face, and talk to people. And you're going to sit in judgment of this young man who's doing his very best to express himself in the way that he knows. It just bothers me. I'm going to shut up for the rest of this whole thing. I hate them so much.
And that's what I hate about Ethan is that he's coming off like he's this expert in marriage because he just got out of a nasty divorce with somebody who fucking hated him at the end. And I'm just like, Ethan, shut the fuck up.
He's not even divorced.
Well, no, yeah, not even legally yet. But like when your daughter and I were getting married and we were talking about it and everything, like I had people from my family telling me that I was making the biggest mistake of my life, that I should get an annulment, that I should not do this and blah, 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 because they got married young and ended up in a terrible divorce. And it offended me at the time because I'm like, fuck you, dude. If it's a mistake, let me make the mistake then.
Yes.
Let me make the choice. And that's like, I agree with you. I think that Lydia is an adult and she should make the choice and everything. I am concerned because she is naive and innocent, and I'm worried because she's in this fundamentalist religion. And I don't know Zach's intentions. I don't know the guy. I hope that he's great. I hope that he treats her very
I
well.
think we should give him the benefit of the doubt. He hasn't shown us anything to indicate otherwise.
And that's fine. I'm just saying that's my vibe. I'm a little sus. But
Okay.
I wish for the best. I really hope that it's great. And I hope that they fucking prove all of them wrong. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes.
That they're down 20 years down the line. They have the best relationship ever. They're super healthy. They never see the Plaths ever again because they're living their best life up in the mountains of Colorado. I wish that for them. But the way Ethan and Micah are trying to grill him is so gross. It's so gross because he asks him, like, I think it was Micah asking him, what about work? Because I hope that you're breaking your back for Lydia and I hope that you provide for her. And Zach's like, well, I coached tennis for a year, so I have a passion for that. And then I also want to like own a coffee shop. And then Ethan and Micah like laugh about that.
Okay, Micah, what is your job? I'm sorry, I said I would shut up, but you build fences when you can get the work and it's probably thrown to you by your girlfriend. You don't have a job. You don't have a degree. You don't have an education. Do you even have a GED? And you're going to judge this young man for having a dream to have a coffee shop? Okay.
Well, and Micah does say in his talking head, he's like, it's not necessarily about the work that you do. It's about the hustle. And so he's just like, I'm just making sure and I'm looking out for Lydia.
Thanks for the life lessons from a Plath.
I know.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then Ethan asks him, well, what do you feel when you're around Lydia? And Zach kind of stammers and he's like, well, I feel confident. And both the Plath boys like don't like this answer for some reason. And I'm wondering if it's because they think like I wonder if they're trying to sniff him out like as men of like, well, what do you mean by confident? Like confident because she's naive? Confident because she makes you feel good about yourself or makes you feel powerful? I don't know. But I think Zach is so nervous in this point. I think
feel so bad for him.
He is dealing with these aggressive Southern men who are coming hard on him about his relationship with Lydia, and I think he just doesn't know what to say here, and he stammers, and Ethan and Micah don't like this answer, and then they get into the physical intimacy portion, and this is where Ethan just doesn't understand in his caveman brain how a young man, could withhold or willingly withhold physical intimacy with such a beautiful young woman, and so he asks him, why are you waiting until marriage? And Zach says something like, well, it was not something that I intended to commit to, but because of who Lydia is, I decided to make that commitment. And I thought that was a little weird because Lydia and Zach now are going on like Ginger Duggar's podcast, and they are saying the reason why, well, Lydia is saying for Zach that Zach was the one that came up with the idea because he wanted to protect Lydia's purity. And he saw how, beautiful and young and innocent of a woman she was. And he didn't want to, ruin that because, just because he wanted to get his pencil wet. He wanted to make sure that he had the holy commitment with her before they did anything. And that's fine. That's great. I just wondered why he didn't say that right here. I wonder why he said it wasn't something I intended to commit to.
Because he's being interrogated by a couple of assholes who just ruined his engagement.
Yeah.
Like, how is he supposed to be comfortable and share with them what's on his heart and feel very natural about that? They set this up in such a way that he would be intimidated and even threatened by them, and that is what they wanted. They're continuing to haze him. I felt bad for him. I personally saw probably the highest version of his answer when he said, she makes me feel confident. I just took that to mean she makes me feel like strong in who I am. She makes me feel like I've got a vision for my life. She makes me feel like I know what I want. And she gives that to me. I give that to her. Like, that's what I heard him say. But like, maybe that's just me like trying to see the very best in him.
Yeah.
I didn't know why that was so confusing for Ethan to hear, other than maybe he's attaching masculinity to confidence. Like a confident man would be somebody who presents differently than Zach does, which I think leads to Ethan's ultimate question, which is how we end this episode, which is basically, so are you gay?
Dude, I cannot believe we're still doing this.
Because you haven't kissed Lydia. You don't seem to want to bang my sister, which is so weird because real men would want that. So are you gay? Girl. I'm just like, listen.
Dude, Ethan.
I think in the first episode, and I'm sorry I'm moving my mic because we can hear that. I apologize that. But I think in the first episode, I said I could see my brother, if I was with a guy like Zach, I could see my brother saying, a little different, are you sure Facebook. Like, I could see my brother doing something like that. I mean, I see a world where that exists, and my brother's not a homophobe, but the way that Ethan did this and the path he led Zach down in order to get there, like by judging and being critical of the not kissing and not wanting to be intimate and all of these other things, the way that he led him down that path was so insulting,
so
to
homophobic,
me, and so homophobic.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I'm going to cop to the fact that I have been giving Ethan a lot of grace over the seasons because I am very sympathetic toward all the kids for what they came up through, because I was indoctrinated as a young age. I think a lot of us have that shared experience, and we know how stunted we were. And so I get a lot of that, but like, he lost me.
Yeah.
Tonight, like the first episode or whatever, when he first questioned it about Zach, I'm like, okay, well, I can see my brother maybe saying something. Okay.
Well,
but
we
like,
were questioning it too on our podcast.
Yes. But now,
dude,
using that as a weapon and a way to be insulting, and you know that's how he intended, because you see Zach's face immediately fall and his mouth shut, and he like receives the meaning of what they're doing and what they're saying. He's like, oh, this is what we're going to do. And we know next week we're going to come back to it and Zach's going to have an answer, but like, that's what he felt in this moment. Like, oh, is this what you guys are doing to me? You're painting me out to be gay. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Obviously not.
We don't have it, but this is what you're trying to do to me and Lydia after everything else that you've already done. If Zach doesn't hate them, like, why are you following them, Zach? Why are you following them?
I know, and that's what I wondered too, because I'm like, is this actually how Ethan is feeling? Is this for the producers, like you mentioned? But I'm like, this is...
I feel like this is Ethan.
When he said that and he had a smile on his face, I was kind of nervous. Like, as a resident gay, I'm like, that is threatening, especially in the deep South too, and like with this very Christian family. I'm just like, yikes, Ethan. Not a good fucking look. I don't know who the fuck you think you are. You, again, like I said at the top of the episode, you cannot like him, and that's fine. But this behavior towards him, unacceptable. The way you're talking to him, absolutely horrible. I'm like mad at Ethan.
Have you ever heard of the concept of a walk-in? It's like this metaphysical idea of at some point in your life, like, you just decide you don't want to be here anymore and you give up your vessel, your human being body, and then you allow some spirit or alien to just walk in and continue your life, but like with a different personality. Anyway, it's this whole thing. But anyway, I was hoping that Zach could be a walk-in and I could just step in to that moment. Like, just give me 10 seconds,
dude,
with these Aryan Nation, Hitler Youth assholes. Just give me 10 fucking seconds, because I believe if Zach had shown any anger and said, who do you think you are questioning me? Did your marriage succeed? How about you, Micah? I heard you're a cheater and you're going to sit there in judgment of me and try to call me gay. What are you, a homophobe? Like, if Zach could have just done that, but he's too young. He's too innocent. He doesn't have the life experience. Just let me walk in. Tag me in for 10 seconds and let me take care of these assholes, dude.
Dude, honestly, I'm just
rage.
Like so shocked at their behavior. And like, this is what I was trying to get at earlier in this episode, is that we could have had like a genuine, mature-ish conversation with the older brothers, stating that they are genuinely concerned because they've seen what happened to Mariah. They saw that she's fundamentally broken. They're worried about Lydia because they don't know this guy and they don't know his intentions. We could have had like an actual, like a nice conversation where we could have had Zach easing their concerns and all this stuff. But no, we have Ethan and Micah being complete fucking bigoted assholes, treating Zach like shit, making fools of themselves on TV, and being straight up homophobic, asking him if he's gay. I hope that in the next episode, we don't even see Zach say no. I hope he gets up and is like, we're done here. Bye. Fuck you. We're done. I'm not answering that question.
I hope for that. I don't think we're going to get that, but I really hope for that.
Yeah, I hope so too. But that's how we end the episode.
Shame.
For real. And then we have the preview where we have Veronica talking shit to Amber again about Mariah. And we see Amber.
Let me walk in. 10 seconds. I got my brass knuckles in my purse. Veronica,
Dude.
you ain't shit.
You ain't shit.
For doing this to a minor child who is then put in the position of having to defend the family that she loves. You toxic ass bitch.
And Amber, being based as always, straight up calls Veronica out and is like, yeah, actually, I think you over-exaggerate, like, literally everything, so maybe you should chill out.
Thank you.
Stop talking shit about my
Thank
sister.
you.
Thanks. And then we have Micah talking to Ethan about the fact that Veronica has been talking to Olivia. And I can't wait to see Ethan just pop off in his little caveman ooga booga. I'm mad. I can't wait.
Well, because he's been strangely so supportive of Veronica, who is a weirdo and has been a weirdo from day one. But for whatever reason, Ethan's been supportive, but he's not supporting Zach. And then it's going to come back to bite him because this entire time, Veronica's been talking to your arch nemesis.
Oh my God.
Olivia. A thing of beauty.
Wait.
It's a beautiful thing.
So good. I am most excited though about the wedding because I am wondering how all of this shit, all of this tension between Ethan and Zach like escalates at the wedding because because I think Veronica said on Reddit that the reason why the fight broke out was something to do with Ethan being homophobic or whatever, or like calling Zach gay.
I don't believe her.
I don't believe her either. But with Ethan's behavior in the last couple episodes, I'm wondering, does he object at the wedding and that starts a fight?
My prediction is by the time we get to the wedding, everybody accepts Zach and it's not a problem. I think the drama at the wedding is going to center around Veronica. We know that Veronica leaves the wedding before Micah does for whatever reason. Micah stays on, gets super drunk. So does Isaac, I imagine. So does Ethan and Mariah. And then there's a fight that breaks out. And Veronica hears about it after the fact by the time that Micah goes to the hospital because my boy Isaac took him out, took him down. And that is the precursor to whatever caused their breakup. I'm hoping that's the drama. I'm hoping by the time we get to the wedding, we're not still doing this to Zach because I don't like watching reality TV, for example, The Valley, with everybody just ganging up on Danny and Nia and it's so unwarranted. Like if this whole season is going to be bullying this young man, like I'm going to very quickly want to tap out.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
We'll definitely see what happens. This season is crazy. We're only on episode 4.
I know. And I'm very much liking it. So I am excited.
Me too.
To keep watching. I do want to say that I don't think we gave Veronica as much criticism and grief as she deserved from this episode alone. But I do acknowledge that we're going into an after show and she's going to get it from me. She's going to get it from social media. She's going to get it from us. And she deserves it.
She does.
So is there anything else before we head on over to the after show that we should be saying to these raccoons before we get up on out of here, Beatrice?
Well, if you love our podcast, please be sure to go to your favorite podcast platform and leave us a glowing 5-star review. It really helps us grow the pod and we really appreciate all the support. So thank you so much in advance.
Yeah, we got a great review from somebody. You sent it over to me.
Should we read it in the after show?
Maybe we should read it in the after show, but I was just like, oh my God, this person is so wonderful and lovely and she gets us.
Yeah.
She sees us.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful. So thank you. Every single review really does mean so much to us. We will be back next week to talk Sister Wives, honey, and I believe we're going to have an after show there too. So make sure to come back for that. But until then, please do not forget that we have nothing but love for you and peace.